Hi, welcome to Insider Yachting. Thanks for joining me today. We have Triple Treat up for review. She's a beautiful looking Ocean Alexander, a real nice traditional interior. Now I do these reviews every week. If you'd like me to send you a quick notification of when the latest reviews are up, click down below on the Be the First to Know button and I'll send you a real brief email and let you know when the latest ones are available for you to see. So let's get stuck into Triple Treat here. So 70 feet by Ocean Alexander, built in 2011. Nice side profile shot there. Getting stuck into the specifications. The length we know, 70 feet. The beam's fairly standard. It's the actually the same as the last boat that I reviewed, Addiction, the azimuth, 18.5 feet. The draft, depending on the load of the boat, you'll see here the two drafts there, the 5 foot and 5 foot 5 inches. That depends on obviously how much water, fuel you have. It actually changes quite drastically when the boat is first launched and then goes into the water, and then the interior decorator gets a hand on it and loads on all of the furniture and the sofas and the heavy brass dog that you have sat in the corner. That actually alters it quite a bit as well. So those two drafts there are dependent on load. Launched in 2011 by Ocean Alexander. Ocean Alexander is a great, very sort of solid built boat. Fiberglass. It's flagged in the United States at the moment. It's actually here in South Florida. It's over in Fort Myers. The Caterpillars engines that they've got here, great engines. They're the C18s. I believe they're the ACERT rated, which brings up the horsepower a little bit. The fuel is 1,400 gallons, which is very slightly above average. The water's pretty standard, 300 gallons. Just have the water makers on board here. 3 staterooms, different to the last boat that we reviewed, and I mentioned it briefly in the roundup. These boats are intended for a bit more of a mature clientele, people that like their sort of space, probably going to spend a bit more time on board. In fact, the Ocean Alexanders kind of bridge that gap between flybridge yachts and the trawler style. So they're kind of a long-range cruiser. They're not quite that harsh, sort of a aggressive-looking trawler style boat, but they definitely sort of tiptoe the line there between the flybridge yacht and the trawler, and they do actually get a lot of clientele from that trawler style over towards this sort of flybridge style, because it is so nice. Generally a little bit more roomier on the inside. So as mentioned, it's over here in Fort Myers, listed for sale at $2,699,000. So looking at the photographs here, there are a few profile shots. I'll just run through them quickly so that we can get stuck into the interior. There again on that bottom left-hand photograph, I mentioned it in the last review about manufacturers starting to use more glass, larger portholes in the hull, and also bigger sections of glass, sometimes without the mullion support, it's called, in between on the main deck, in between all of the windows. Sometimes now you'll just see the windows butted up right up to each other. The reason for that is glass quality now is a lot better. Classification societies actually allow you to use it as a structural piece. It's no longer sort of classed as a weakness in the hull, so that's why we're seeing a lot more of that. The bottom photograph on the right hand side there, it's a nice aft deck. It's not too large on some of the sort of European style boats. You'll see this area as a larger area. As I mentioned in a couple of the reviews, generally the European boats are a little bit more exterior sort of based as far as how they lay out the boat and the size of the house compared to the size of the exterior deck areas. Of course, here in the US, a lot of the yachting industry, in fact most of the yachting industry, is based around South Florida, and it's just too hot to spend outside, so you tend to see the exterior areas a little bit smaller and the interior areas a little bit bigger. And that's basically the reason why. In fact, on a lot of the European flybridge boats, sometimes or mainly a little bit smaller than this, but you'll see the flybridge without any kind of canopy there at all. No bimini top, no fixed top, just completely open. Of course, if we try to do that here, we would get tired of it very, very quickly. Some more shots of the aft deck there. It's nice, the bottom left hand side photograph. It's nice having that wing station. That's actually, you can see that on the top photograph, the section of house which sort of comes down at an angle just next to that, just next to the aft deck doors there on the left hand side of the aft deck doors. That's where this helm station is, and it's nice having that, especially if you're sort of an owner-operator and you're parking the boat on your own or with one other person. It's great having that because you're right there in the middle of the action and you're not going to miss anything. It's a lot easier controlling it from there than it is from all the way up forwards in the either the lower helm station or up on the flybridge. They don't have any kind of readouts here or really any kind of rudder control. It's just simply the bow and stern thruster and then the throttle controls. Actually, that is worthwhile mentioning. This does have a nice setup with the bow and the stern thruster. Some more shots of the exterior here, nothing that we haven't seen before. It is a nice walk around. There are a couple of steps there up to the very bow sort of end of the boat there. It's not the same level all the way around. Up onto the flybridge here, beautiful flats fishing boat. Really like seeing these types of boats on board. It just lets you know that whoever owns this boat really uses it for a purpose, and there's some area of their life that they want to sort of enhance with this boat. So it's nice knowing that this isn't just one of those boats that someone buys and then puts up for sale 6 months later, which is crazy as far as I'm concerned. It's nice knowing that this owner actually uses his boat and enjoys it for all that it is. It's a beautiful boat. Down into the engine room on the lower right hand side there, that's our Caterpillar C18s. Great engines, everything's very accessible, very easy to work on. You can switch out water pumps, fuel pumps, injectors are fairly easy to get to. Everything's right there, nothing is hidden and out of the way. Top right hand side, that's our fuel filtration. The four, they're called Raycor filters. They're basically a water separation filter. As part of your regular maintenance, you need to change the filters in those pots. You get to that by unscrewing them from the top, and then the glass bowl at the bottom, that's where the water collects and the dirt. So as part of your sort of pre-engine startups, you should be checking those bowls and making sure there's no junk in the bottom of them. That's also another telltale. If you've taken on bad fuel, those things will be filled up with junk there. It's very, very common to get a little bit of water in there and a little bit of the dirt. That way you know they're actually doing their job. There are some taps at the very bottom of the bowls there. You just crack those taps and bleed it out, and you're ready to go again, and until you need to change those filters. And usually those filters are I think they're about every 200 hours, every 150, 200 hours. It'll say it in your it's different for each engine manufacturer there. Going a little bit too deep into the engineering here. The photograph on the right hand side, the top and the bottom, that's our Northern Light generators. They also use a very basic engine. It's a John Deere engine. Everything is very easy sort of to switch out and maintenance on these things. From my personal experience, they do go through a lot of raw water pump impellers. They're also notorious for cracking the water pump shaft itself. Why it does that, I have no idea. Several of the engines that I've sort of maintained, the John Deere engines, have all done the same thing on different boats. So it's nothing that's sort of limited to a specific engine. It's just for some reason it's happened to these guys, and I've heard it happening to a lot of others. So in your spare parts, definitely impellers, raw water pump impellers, and I'd say definitely if not a whole spare pump, then definitely a shaft. The photograph on the bottom left, that's showing the main engine area, of course. It is worthwhile noting at the back there, that sort of black box that you can see, that's the plate cooler. Two options that you have a lot of the time with different engines. You can either have a tube cooler or a plate cooler. It's nice having the plate cooler because you can actually add plates to it and increase the cooling potential of that cooler, which you can't do with a tube cooler. It's just encased. I've heard of people adding the plates to pumps when they go from sort of a cold water area to a warm water area, and just giving it that extra cooling sort of capability for the coolant. This on the top left hand side, that looks like some kind of a hydraulic unit there, or a variable sort of delivery unit. That might be for the crane or for the bow thrusters, or I'm not too sure why they've got that in there. But nice to see that it's all accessible and very sort of open, and can get a wrench around there pretty easily. Below that's the repeater helm station. From the main station down below, they have basically everything there that they have down below. In fact, they might even have a few extra pieces of equipment up here, as the majority of the time this is where you'll be piloting the boat from. Down below the photograph below that, it says flybridge there underneath that photograph. That's not the flybridge though, that's the main Salon. Not sure how that one got in there. More flybridge shots. This is quite a nice open area. No teak-up here. That is a lot easier on the maintenance. A lot of the times though, people would like to see teak up here. I like teak. It's a lot easier on your feet. It's actually a lot easier to keep clean as well, believe it or not. Once you wash this non-skid area down, the first person that walks across it is going to leave big brown footprints from one side to the other. There's just no avoiding it. So using a teak up here, one, it makes things not look quite so white, and two, it is actually a lot easier to keep clean. But nice area. It's nice that they have this able to be sealed off down the back there. You can see that isinglass runs around the back, and they've actually got the door sort of rolled up. You can see that on the top left hand photograph. It's rolled up in the top left hand corner of there. So this area is air conditioned, and it's nice to be able to seal that all off, and some nice seating areas and dining areas there as well. So downstairs into the helm, so the pilot house, which is also part of the country kitchen. This is an American take on things. We saw with the last boat, the Azimuth, it had that sort of separate, more formal kitchen, where this is a lot more social, a lot more open. I really like this take on things because it's such an amazing room or area of the boat here. It's got glass all the way around from port to starboard. It's shame just to have this area just as a pilot house and not to take advantage of it and have it open as the country kitchen. So I really like this style boat, and I love the way that Ocean Alexander do their sort of interior woodwork and millwork. It's all very traditional, luxurious, but it's not over the top sort of traditional. It's just nice and neutral. Now, the one thing I will say with this boat, and we'll see it in a couple of minutes in the photographs, in the main salon, there's an enormous zebra print rug. So I'll warn you now, try to ignore the rug. It can be rolled up. There is a nice cream carpet underneath there, and you can actually see one of the mats on the top left-hand photograph. It gets worse than that. It gets well, it doesn't get worse than that, but it gets a lot more zebra than that in some of the other photographs. So these two photographs, the bottom on the left and the top on the right, that's the country kitchen, very well appointed, huge convection oven, so the microwave up there. They have trash compactor, ice maker, fridge freezers here. We can see that on the top on the left. Bottom on the right, we start moving down to the guest areas. There's a little laundry station that they have there. And now we're into the master suite. This is a queen size bed. Nice size, full beam cabin. Beautiful ensuite bathroom in here as well. Personally, if I was taking the photographs on this, I would probably have put a nice quilt cover on the bed. It looks a little bit plain there. The two photographs on the left hand side there is just a sort of lobby areas there. It doesn't really tell us much. Nice flat screen TV, we can see that at the top on the right. Nice bathroom there underneath that. Doesn't really give us a huge amount of details here. It is a his and hers bathroom. It's separated by this common shower in the middle, which we can see on the right hand side at the top there. It's also one of those showers that can do everything. Has jets here, there, and everywhere. More master cabin photographs there. In fact, the one on the top on the right hand side, I believe that's a day head and not the actual master cabin there, but I'll run through these. Actually, this brochure does have a huge amount of photographs, so I'll run through these pretty quickly just so that we don't get too bored here. Double bed in the VIP cabin. It's nice that they have that runner there on the bed. It just kind of keeps your eyes from staring at white when you're running through these brochures. If you look at the brochure that we just reviewed on the Azimuth, you'll really see the difference here. This is a much nicer way of doing the brochure, and it will sell the boat a lot quicker than the last one. The bathroom in the VIP cabin, a nice marble and granite sort of countertops that they use here. Fairly neutral Um, Interior decor is not offensive at all. Nice sort of play on the cream tones against the wood. They do use nice different finishes to the wood. They have the satin and all the gloss finish. So this is a 3-cabin, 3-suite boat as we saw earlier on. So this is on the port side. The other 2 cabins, there was the VIP forwards and then the full beam master. So now moving into the main salon. So here's that huge zebra print rug. Isn't my taste at all. Complete personal preference. If you like zebra, walking around on zebra print, then this is your boat. But a nice huge main salon here. Walking forwards is into the country style kitchen, but you can see the difference here. Now this is the same size as that Asma that we just reviewed, but you can see how much bigger this area seems. And this also has the nice pop-up TV. Beautiful coffer in the ceiling there, really breaks it up and makes this area look really nice. Some more shots there. We can see that pop-up TV on the bottom photograph on the right hand side, and then the top on the right hand side. It really gives you an idea of how sort of how they bring the exterior through to the interior here. So the nice long windows and the large sort of areas of glass at the back there as well. It's really nice. You wouldn't see that sort of amount of glass on older boats. So into the right up here, a lot of this is just bullet point sort of way of writing up. There's not very many sort of full descriptions. Interestingly enough, it does say there that it's a king-size bed in the master and a queen up forward, so I was wrong with that. I thought it was a queen. It's not. It's a king-size berth. So beautiful size beds in all these cabins. It's nice actually up forwards there with that being so open. In the VIP cabin, it's such a nice area there to have such a big bed, and it's nice being sort of up forwards there, away from everywhere else. It's a real nice area. I won't pull out each piece of information here. I do have all this ready to go in our yacht pack. If you're not already familiar with what the yacht pack is, it's an email sort of friendly packet of information that I've created for every boat that's on the market. It's full of the brochure that I run through here. It's full of some more photographs that I can get hold of, pricing analysis, and any other bits of sort of insider information that I have about that particular boat and that manufacturer, and all the stuff that you'd want to know about before you decided on a boat. We actually go through all the current boats that are for sale, and also all the boats that have sold over the last 12 months. This way you can get a real good idea of what those boats are selling for, and be able to see whether the asking price on this is a realistic asking price, or exactly what you would want to offer for this boat. So that's all ready to go. I've got them all here on my computer. Just click on the right hand side on the yacht pack button. I'll leave the name of the boat, your name, and your email address, and I'll shoot off to you right away. So I'll run through this quickly and pull off a couple of the more sort of important pieces there we've seen already with those sizes of the beds, the pilot house, and the flybridge there on the right hand side. It runs through every piece of sort of equipment that's fitted here. On the left, sorry, on the right hand side, it starts to go through all the AV and entertainment. It details the sewage treatment plant, which is just a holding tank. It's not a full treatment plant, so bear that in mind when you're planning your trips. The air conditioning, pretty good size air conditioning, 24,000 BTU. Shore power connectors, everything that we expect to see on this size boat. As far as the 250 amp cables on the larger boats, you'd want to see 100 amp cables. Details the mechanical equipment. There's our Caterpillar C18s with a Accent Performance package, which boosts the horsepower up to what it is now, the 1150 horsepower per side. It's worthwhile mentioning that these Caterpillar engines do come with a 24-month complete warranty, which is always something that you want to bear in mind. With a boat that's a couple of years old, you want to know how much longer that warranty period is going to run, because before that's out you have the option to purchase an extended warranty, which is usually for 5 years on most engine manufacturers, with a couple of years sort of bumper to bumper, and then the other 3 years will be sort of main failure warranty. But definitely worthwhile getting if you have the option. See here the thruster and stabilizer. That's that one photograph that we saw that we weren't too sure what it was. We knew it was hydraulic, but it's actually the says here the stabilizer. I'm not too familiar with the stabilizer system on here. I'm familiar with key power stabilizers, but not exactly how they install it on the Ocean Alexanders. But fantastic to have that on this size boat. Of course, the other piece of equipment that we're starting to see more and more now in this size range is the gyro stabilization, which is a lot less power demand on the generators. Once it's up and running, it actually draws very little power. But here, fantastic to have the stabilizers on here. There's actually a bow and a stern thruster here. We can see it there on the first line. 25 horsepower for the bow and 15 for the stern. So there we go. So that's it for this review. Really nice boat. Ocean Alexander do a great job of putting together boats in this size range. Very nice, sturdy feeling boat, a great quality hull, lots of fantastic equipment on there, as we saw just a couple of seconds ago with the stabilizers. You don't often see that in boats of this size, or you certainly don't see it all the time. I have this ready to go in the Yacht pack. As I mentioned earlier on, if you want to get the notifications of when the latest reviews are up, then just down below, be the first to know. Click on that, leave me a name, email, and I'll send you a real brief email just letting you know when the latest ones are up and ready to watch. Now, the other thing that I'll tell you about now briefly, again here on the right hand side, is our weekly yacht tours. There are so many questions that a potential buyer has in their mind. Really, the only way of getting all those questions answered is to actually get on board the boat and start experiencing it firsthand. This is a great first way. These reviews is a great initial way of sort of narrowing down what you're more interested in. But then once you get into specifics, you really need to get on board to feel it, to touch things, to see for yourself how big the cabins are and whether you want the formal dining or the country kitchen. So I do these yacht tours every week. They run from Monday to Saturday. Sometimes do them on Sunday, but not too much, as the yacht owners don't really like showing them on a Sunday. But these are very popular. I'm doing them every week. You're more than welcome to join in. Just click on the weekly yacht tours button. Let me know what sort of date and time would be best for you, and we'll be able to fit you in. So thanks for watching. We have the third review in this week's series, which is coming up next, so I look forward to catching you there. Thanks. Bye bye.